Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday, it will be a battle of the undefeated 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBA Interim Heavyweight Championship. It is being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Platform Sports, Tasman Fighters, and Gold Star Promotions. Well, at this time, let's welcome and acknowledge our main event participants. First, coming to us from Brisbane, Australia, he is undefeated with 12 wins, 7 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked number 7 by the WBA, he is the undefeated former Australian champion and current WBO Global and IBF Pan-Pacific Heavyweight Champion, Justis Huni. And now let's welcome from Ipswich, England, undefeated with 18 wins, 1 draw, 17 of his 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked number 1 by the WBA, he is the undefeated former British, English, and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, Fabio Wardley. And now let's get the main event part of our press conference started and hand things back over to your host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Thank you, Thomas Schreiber. Okay, welcome back to the final part of today's huge press conference as we count down to a historic night of World Championship Boxing at Portman Road. The vacant WBA Interim Heavyweight Championship will be on the line between 2 unbeaten heavyweights. The highly rated, heavy-handed Ipswich hero Fabio Wardley is now just hours away from his dream moment. After spending his life cheering on the Tractor Boys from the stands on Saturday night, he now stands in the centre of that Portman Road pitch, punching for his people, punching for his town, and punching for his future. But the man standing in his way on Saturday, his name is Justis Huni, and he has been punching since the age of 8. By the time Fabio Wardley first picked up a pair of boxing gloves at 20 years old, Justis Huni had already been boxing for 12 years. He was a brilliant amateur, unbeaten as a pro, and some are saying the greatest heavyweight to ever come from Australia. This is a high-stakes, high-risk, must-win heavyweight clash between the WBA number 1 and the WBO number 1. The winner will make a serious statement in the heavyweight division and put a serious dent into their opponent's world title ambitions. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday night, we'll be live around the world on the global home of boxing, DAZN. This is must win at Portman Road. This is running towards adversity. Let's start with the man who is running directly towards adversity. In his dream moment, Fabio Wardley, I want to get an opening word from you because this is everything that you've wanted. We're getting closer and closer now. Does this feel different to your normal fights? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it definitely does feel different. It's a funny one this week of still being at home in the sense of where these events are, like the presser today and the face-to-face yesterday and the weigh-in tomorrow and things will all be in my hometown. They're all down the road from me. So on the way here and things, I'm bumping into people that I know and I've known for years and I'm walking past like places I go and things like that. So it has a bit of a different feel to it. It's been good, really good to be honest. It's added to it and made it a nice, relaxed, kind of chilled week because I haven't had to uproot myself and take myself either to over Saudi or into London or up and down the country somewhere. So it's been good for me and the team.
All right, thank you, Fabio. Let's get an opening word from Justis Huni, who is also running towards adversity. 48 hours away now from the biggest moment and the biggest fight in your career. Give us an insight into what's going on for Justis Huni right now.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling excited, pumped. It's only 2 days out now, and I just can't wait to get in there and share the ring with Fabio, give the fight fans a good fight, and the people of Ipswich. So let's go.
Okay, thank you. We'll be coming back to the fighters very shortly. I want to bring in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. And Frank, another fantastic heavyweight stadium fight on Saturday, one to really look forward to.
It is. This is the golden age of heavyweight boxing at the moment. All these guys are fighting each other. The skill qualities, the standard of the heavyweights is probably the best it's been for many, many years. And this is a very important fight in the heavyweight division. You know, the winner of this becomes the #1 mandatory for the WBA title, so they've got everything to go for. You know, it doesn't get any better than that. Winner goes and becomes the guy for when the BA title has to be fought for on a mandatory basis. So that's the pot of gold, that's the carrot.
And it's a stadium fight. It's Ipswich, it's Portman Road. It's special to be here in this city. But how much belief do you have in Fabio to get it done on Saturday?
Look, it's big-time boxing in Ipswich. We're in a football stadium, soccer stadium. You know, this is huge for him, and this was his dream, and our job is to try and make those dreams come true, and we've delivered as far as that's concerned. You know, Saturday night is going to be a really atmospheric night. The crowd, I know, are going to be absolutely everybody's going to be behind Fabio, so he's got everything going for him. He knows what he has to do, but he's in with somebody who is undefeated, who's got a stellar amateur career. He's coming off of a last fight, was it a second round stoppage, I think it was. So, you know, he's a form fighter. He can punch. He's knocked 7 or stopped 7 of his 12 opponents. This is good, big time boxing. This is quality boxing. And, you know, I know, you know, having the time I've been involved with Fabio, I know what his ambitions are, I know what he wants, and everything he's set out to do, he's done. And he's done it without a pedigree as an amateur that Justis has got. But you know what? It shows you what a natural fighting man he is to do what he's done, what he's achieved, and where he's at. You know, he's gone on the traditional route, you know, with the British title, English title, British title, Commonwealth. He's shown what he's all about. Everything he's done, he's been the best at and come through it. And this is the big moment for him in his career. And, you know, we have confidence in him coming through this. It's going to be a tough fight. I know it'll be a tough fight because he's dealing with a tough competitor. But you know what? The fans are going to benefit from that. They're going to benefit from seeing something extra special and see their hero hopefully continue on his journey to bring the big belt home here to Ipswich, into his home city, town.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Well, you're not the only Frank up here. Just a reminder, this is Queensberry versus Matchroom, and delighted to have Frank Smith here. We had Eddie at the launch press conference, Frank, and he spoke about the sadness that he's going to have heading back down the A12, about ruining Fabio's big night. But do you share that sadness?
What, heading down the A12? No, I think we're going to be very happy. Look, firstly, it's the pleasure, obviously, to be working with Queensberry, Frank and the whole team, and obviously the home of boxing, DAZN, consistently delivering the biggest nights in the sport. You know, Saturday night will be no different. It's two great fighters coming together. You know, I have huge respect, obviously, for Fabio Wardley. I've worked with him for a long part of his career, but I believe Justis Huni is the better fighter. I believe on Saturday night you'll see that. But I think you have to respect both men for jumping in there and taking this test, because a lot of fighters in this day and age wouldn't do that. You know, they're both in great positions. They both had great opportunities ahead of them. You know, Fabio, with 4 weeks to go, accepted Justis Huni, and Justis Huni accepted the test with 4 weeks to go, showing the belief he has in his career. And you have to respect both men for that. But I think on Saturday night, you're going to see a tremendous fight, another great heavyweight dust-up, but Justis Huni being victorious.
Well, Frank, one of the themes from you, Frank, not that Frank, one of the themes from that launch press conference was this overwhelming feeling from Team Matchroom, from Team Huni, from Eddie Hearn in particular, that Frank Warren has made a mistake here. So let me ask you, does Frank think Frank has made a mistake?
Which Frank? That Frank. He doesn't often make mistakes, obviously. I think on Saturday we'll see a mistake. You know, we won't be crying on the way back down the A12. I think it'll be a nice, joyous journey back. But look, we've got to win some. You know, we obviously, historically, a year ago, lost the first 5v5. And on Saturday, this will be the start of the revenge mission. So excited for it.
Well, we'll see what happens. But going back on that A12, I've found a place ready on the way back. The massage parlour, it's all set up for
I think I saw it on the way up, actually.
No,
Okay.
Well, look, you know, there's great rivalry between Matchroom and Queensberry, and it's all part of this. You know, we all want to be winners. We all want to come through. We all want to do the best and be the best. And it all adds to the drama and to the whole story. So, you know, this is going to be a sensational fight on Saturday. Do not miss it.
And a sensational drive home, it sounds like, as well. OK, thank you. Great to hear from both of you. Let's bring in Michael Riddout from DAZN. And, you know, one thing, again, you've got your two promoters working together here. So much to look forward to.
Yeah, look, an amazing event. Echo Frank Smith's point. These two guys stepping up from their respective rankings. It's all too easy sometimes for a fighter to wait for their shot. But these guys are you know, number one in WBA, number one at the time of the fight was made in the WBO, are going in for our entertainment. So thank you, boys, for doing that. And it kickstarts really a massive summer for DAZN, the biggest in our history. As always, we've got incredible fights every weekend. Hitchens versus Kambosos, the return of Jake Paul, Cattrall Eubank, Ring 3, Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga, and of course, the biggest fight of them all, exclusively live on DAZN, the undisputed heavyweight title fight between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. But also something I want to talk about is the FIFA Club World Cup. All 63 matches, live on DAZN, available for free, starts on June 14th. Do not miss it. And do not miss this weekend's fight. It's an incredible bout between two guys who are going to go in there and throw serious, destructive punches. They've also got their undefeated records as well to protect. So guys, good luck. It's Queensberry versus Matchroom. It's Wardley versus Huni, and it's all live exclusively on DAZN.
Great stuff. Thank you, Michael Riddout. Let me bring in Spencer Brown from Gold Star, very much the Justis Huni side. And we had Mick Francis up here last time as well, and he talked about how it all felt like a perfect storm for Justis Huni. Is that how you're feeling heading into this?
Yeah, I mean, this fight has had sort of, you know, it's had loads of twists and turns. This all started really in Riyadh, didn't it? With both of them fighting in Riyadh, with both having two completely different matches. Fabio Wardley came out and destroyed his opponent in the first round, and Justis fought Kevin Lorraine and nearly flopped in the last round. You know, got caught in the last round. So it's a great fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight, this. Obviously, we think we've got it. I had a good chat with Justis' trainer early, and we're very, very confident in this fight. We're really confident. And, I mean, I saw the odds. It was 1-6 on for Fabio. So, obviously, they fancy it. I believe Frank had a few quid at even money. So, it just looks a perfect storm to me. There's been loads of twists, loads of turns, but we're here. We're now here. We're ready to go. He's only had 3.5 weeks training, but he's still very, very confident. I watched him spar in the gym. He was a different level. So they're seen. But I've got to say, for Fabio Wardley, that what he's done is unprecedented. He's come from an unlicensed white-collar boxing to be #1 in the world. It will never happen again. I'll take my hat off to you on that one. Great achievement. But again, I'm with Justis. And Justis, let me tell you, he's a quiet guy. But when it comes to fighting, this man can really fight. And he's got a great pedigree. And we think he's going to do it on the night. So tune in. It's going to be a great fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. Let's hear from the Wardley side of the table. Let me bring in Michael Offo. Michael, you had quite the exchange with Eddie Hearn at the launch presser. I don't know if you've got Frank Smith in your sights here today, but tell us what you're thinking.
So yeah, Eddie's not here, so you know I think that speaks volumes to his belief in his fighter. I know these guys talk about a perfect storm, but a storm brings nothing but destruction and pain, and that's exactly what Fabio's going to bring: destruction. Come Saturday night, you know, knowing Fabio as long as I've known him, I've seen him work hard. You know, he doesn't have to do this, and he puts himself through. You know, he puts himself through hell and back to achieve his goals. So I think come Saturday, he's going to be a very, very hard man to beat, and I don't think that Justis Huni has what it takes to beat Fabio. They're both great. Ambassadors for the sport, so we commend both of them for getting in there and providing the entertainment, but I can only see one winner, and that's Fabio Wardley.
Okay, I don't know if anyone wants to pop back from the... Frank, I'm looking at you. Frank Smith, do you want to...
Look, I agree with everything he says in terms of they're two tremendous fighters. Respect for them both stepping in. Obviously, we're on different sides of the table. We're going to disagree on who the winner will be. But I'm just glad he didn't have a pop at me like he had at Eddie, to be honest. So, thanks, Mike.
Not finished the press conference.
There is still time. There is a Q&A at the end as well, Frank, so be ready for that. Let's bring in Justis Huni. Now, at the launch press conference, Justis, you said that you were better than Fabio Wardley in every department other than power. And Fabio said, I urge you to go and do some research. So have you done some research? What are your findings?
Still the same. I still got the same opinion. And look, 2 days from now, we'll be able to showcase it and, show everyone what I'm all about. So, yeah, let's go. I can't wait. We're here in fight week, and it's exciting for me. So, yeah.
One thing I've heard you say, Justis, is that you will show him your experience. What exactly does that mean? What does that look like on Saturday?
It's my ring IQ, my experience in the ring, knowing where I am at all times. It'll show. It'll show on the fight night. So, I've done all the training that I've needed to do, and I'm ready to go.
Fabio, let's bring you in here. I mean, it's talk once again of ring IQ, about lengthy amateur pedigree, and the only thing you've got going for you is power. Heard it all before, Fabio?
Yeah, I heard it all before, and if that's all I've got in my career, it's done me well so far, so it might not do me too bad going forward and going into this fight. But it's nothing new for me in this sense. The standard call, the standard talk of me not having an amateur background and me being inexperienced in that sense, not having maybe the boxing know-how, the boxing IQ to bring in the ring on the night, but yet I haven't been defeated yet, and I've come across star-stellar amateurs, Olympics and Olympic medalists and all sorts. So I don't know where exactly these two things mesh up and I'm supposed to slip up and things are supposed to go wrong because they haven't yet. Credit to Justis Huni thinking he's the man to do that. But again, the most obvious one to say here is the power I have is undeniable in that sense. You look through my fights and you see why all of my opponents have touched the canvas at one point or another. And that just built on the experience that I've built over the last couple of years now. And I understand that, yeah, okay, I did get the amateur experience when I was a kid and when I was younger and things like that. But I've done the hard work and the hard yards since I got into boxing. And that was the first thing I realized, is that I had some bits to make up in the sport. And I did that, and I put my head down and grafted. And this is where I've got myself. So, yeah, I haven't come this far just to come this far. There's no way that this is being taken away from me now. Not in my hometown, not on my home stage.
Do you concede that you're in with the better boxer, or do you disagree with that?
No, I don't agree with that either. I don't know. Yeah, okay, maybe if you compare his amateur record to my 4 white-collar fights, then maybe, yeah, they might look a bit different. But we're not in amateur boxing anymore. This isn't an amateur ring. This isn't amateur rules. It's not amateur gloves. This is real, full-fledged, heavyweight professional boxing. And in that realm, I'm more experienced. I'm more devastating. I've got all the attributes that have carried me through and have brought me through to winning. So, yeah, on that particular area, I don't concede either. I don't think he's got the better IQ than me, the better boxing ability than me. Not in this ring. Not in that ring on the night.
Justis, let me ask you this. You did that face-off for DAZN, and one of the things Fabio said to you was, yeah, you can be perfect for 12 rounds, but he only needs to be perfect for 1 second. Do you agree with that? How wary of him are you?
Look, I've got my game plan, and I'm going to show up on the night and stick to it. It doesn't really matter what we say here on the fight night. Is when we've got to put all the training and stuff to test, and I'm ready to go and can't wait to share the ring with him.
It's Portman Road. They love him here in Ipswich. You'll see that tomorrow as well at the weigh-in. It's all going to be for him. Do you feel like there's any way that actually works against Fabio Wardley?
I think it might give him more pressure, but yeah. Other than that, it's only going to be him and I and the referee in the ring, and we've both got a job to do. I've come to win. He's coming to win. So it's going to make for a good fight.
Fabio, one thing that Justis had said in multiple interviews is that he's not necessarily just going to be standing there to trade with you. Are you expecting a trickier fight? Are you expecting to maybe have to come from behind, do things you haven't had to do?
Yeah, look, nothing I'm saying is taken away from the skills and attributes he has. He is a good boxer. He is fleet-footed. He can work around that ring very well, and I do think he'd be wary of me, so he won't be trying to engage very early or very often. But that's just another area I can double down and hunt him around that ring. Like, there's only so long you can go running from me in a ring. You're not going to be able to keep that up for 12 rounds. I will find you, I will hunt you down, and you will have to stand in front of me and let your hands go at one point or another. So, and at that moment, that's where I come out on top, and that's where I'm the better fighter.
What do you make of that, Justis?
Definitely won't be any running. It's just boxing. It's just boxing smart. There won't be any running around the ring from me. It'll just be smart boxing.
Fabio, we've seen Justis hurt before against Kevin Lerena. Kevin Lerena didn't capitalise and finish the job that night. Do you feel like if you get him in the same situation, you can finish the job?
Yeah, look, first of all, it's heavyweight boxing. We can all be hurt. We're all big boys, landing big shots on each other. So, look, each one of us can hurt the other if we're sloppy, if we're lazy, if we're not prepared properly. But, yeah, with me, it's clear and obvious that I don't let my opponents off the hook. Whether it's in the first round or it's the 12th round, it doesn't matter. If I see you going a bit, if I see a wobble, if I see a break in your armour, then I'm going all out and I'm getting you out of there.
Justis, do you think he's just going to come and try and take your head off, or is there a bit more method to the madness? What do you think?
I've got no idea, but, I've done the preparation for this fight, and, that's all I can go off, is that I'm as prepared as I can be, and I'm ready for war.
OK, let's get a few questions from the media. We've got a roaming mic. Here's Wally Downs from The Sun.
Fabio, your original opponent was Jarrell Miller, a checkered past, and he was bizarre at that press conference. He was accusing you of a diss track. He tried to get physically aggressive. This is so different. How different do you feel in this scenario as opposed to what you might have been going into that one with Jarrell?
Yeah, look, they're each their own. I've had opponents in the past who have been loud-mouthed and shouted and screamed and had a lot to say for themselves. And I've had other opponents who are just like, Justis, calm, collect, respectful, chilled. And neither of those approaches affects me. The way I approach the fight, the way I prepare, the way I get ready for a fight, it's all the same. If you want to be loud, if you want to be quiet, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to train just as hard, prepare all the same, and stay focused.
And for Matchroom Frank, for the 5v5, you made a promise to be the T-boy in a French-made uniform if you got whitewashed. Have you done that yet? And if not, will you be doing any fake bets for this one as well?
No, my missus said my legs didn't look too good in the stockings, so she banned me from wearing the French maid's outfit. But I will have a bet that if Fabio wins, I'll come to the office not dressed in a French maid's outfit, but I will make tea for the day. Okay, this time I'll make sure I'm there. I'll do it. But Frank's got to put something forward from the Queensberry side in return, because I'm very confident that Justis is going to do the job.
The real reason he didn't do it in the French maid uniform is because he didn't lose enough weight. But anyway.
That hurt, that one. I thought we were getting on.
It was meant to. This is war. No, look, we're all looking. This is going to be a great fight. Number one fighting number one. BO number one, BA number one. They know what's on the line. Their careers are on the line. It doesn't get any better than that. The backstory to this makes it a good fight. So just don't miss it. Just be there on Saturday night. If you're not there, watch it on DAZN worldwide. This is going to be a special, special heavyweight fight.
OK, next question from Ames. I believe it's seconds out.
Hey, questions for Justis Huni. Justis, one of the signatures of a Ben Davison training camp who Fabio Wardley trains with is to do extensive research on the fights you've had previously, watching tapes of yourself, combinations, habits you throw. How much do you feel a potential opponent can have in taking what you've done previously in fights before?
I feel like every fight I step into, I change. you know, I grow from each fight. I learn my lessons, and you know, it makes me into a better fighter. So, you know, it'll be a different fighter than my last fight or the fight before that. That's going to step into the ring on Saturday night.
Question for Fabio as well. This is a different fight in a sense that not only is it a stadium fight for yourself, but also you've got a baby on the way. Have you been able to balance the needs of being a professional fighter as well as a soon-to-be father?
Yeah, it's been an interesting few months, all going off at once. But I've been able to focus on the job at hand. Credit to my missus in that sense. She's been able to just let me crack on and get my job done. So once Saturday night is ticked off, it will be a full-on daddy daycare mode for the next few months.
Okay, any more questions? Got one? If you just introduce yourself, please.
Tom from Boxing Scene. This one's for Fabio. When you first walked into a white-collar gym, did you ever think you'd get to this point?
No, probably not. I didn't know what boxing had for me, or had in store for me when I first ever walked into a gym. I just enjoyed the personal challenge of it all and pushing myself and testing myself against other people. And then week after week, day after day, I just fell more and more in love with the sport, and then just threw myself in it wholeheartedly and just let it take me and see where I ended up. And yeah, a bit of commitment a few years later, and somehow I'm headlining at Portman Road.
The two Fraser Clark fights you had were very different. Are you prepared to go to the place you went in the first fight, with that brutal 12 rounds?
Yeah, much probably to my trainers and my team's dislike. I do quite enjoy going there. They are the kind of fights I enjoy. But then flip it on its hat, the second fight with Fraser goes to show how much I can plan, prepare, how much I can adjust myself, and make the right changes to get the proper outcome on the night. So I have all sides to my game. So I've got a bit of A and a bit of B, and I'm sure we'll see both on the night.
Okay, thank you. Final one from me. Justis and Fabio, I want to get your final prediction. And listen, feel free to say it to each other. You are sat meters apart. Tell him, Justis, tell Fabio what you're going to do on Saturday night.
Fabio, I'm going to come in there, box smart, give you a boxing lesson. So, yeah, I hope you come prepared, and I can't wait to share the ring with you.
Over to you, Fabio.
Justis, credit to you and the team for taking the fight. Great respect throughout, and I'm looking forward to a good fight. There's a reason why we wanted you, because we knew you were an entertaining fighter, but Saturday night is just not your night, unfortunately for you. There's no way that no one in boxing is coming to my town, my home stadium, and getting a win over me.
I will make it my night.
Like I say, Saturday night, Team Wardley win. Team Wardley knockout, as always. Something I do special.
Team Huni wins.
Look, tune in, watch it. It's gonna be something special. There's no way I'm letting Saturday night pass by without it being one for the books. My last couple of fights have been historic in their own rights, and I'm looking to carry that on Saturday night.
Okay, thank you everyone. Saturday night, live from Portman Road on the global home of boxing, DAZN. It is Wardley versus Huni. It is running towards adversity. Let's get these fighters faced off for the final time today. Thank you.
Okay, so it got a little bit tense, not too tense, towards the end, because we are getting into that business period now and not long to go. Just over 48 hours till these men throw down. We know how heavy-handed Fabio is. We know how much of a complete fighter Justis Huni is. But I think it's fair to say, Alois, both of them in the pro game haven't been at this level, the pair of them.
Yeah, they both haven't, but they're there now, innit? They're there now to showcase their ability. They're there now to showcase who wants to be great. They're there to showcase who wants to be a world champion. And again, I'm pretty confident in my boy, and I'm Team Fabio all the way.
Of course you are. They're just squaring off now.
I think Huni has a very strong jaw.
Strong jaw?
Yeah, a very strong jaw.
I'm sure Fabio's going to test it.
Absolutely.
The size difference isn't
Ladies
too
and
much,
gentlemen,
actually.
this
I don't see a massive
our
size
main
difference.
event Saturday Live worldwide on
I feel like when I stand
DAZN,
next
it's
to
a
Huni, I'm
battle
like,
of the undefeated 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBA Interim Heavyweight Championship. Justis Huni versus Fabio Wardley.
A little push right now would be lovely.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that
Yeah,
between maybe between Frank Warren and Frank Smith after his comment there in the
You know
presser.
what
But yeah, it's all business. They're two very respectful guys. You obviously know Fabio very well. He's like a brilliant ambassador actually for boxing, the way he carries himself.
Absolutely.
Justis Huni from this build I've seen again, respectful. But when they throw down on Saturday, this is their lives, their future. This fight sort of depends on and hinges on. So it's a serious fight at world level.